to get going. Gotta catch those runners taking off like a Boeing. If the volume spikes, then it's time to trade. Mighty 90 setting up, it's time to get paid. Dr. Chad on the mic, time to get focused. We don't need any indicator, hocus pocus. It's all about the price, just watch it move. Manage your risks so you don't lose. First hour of trading is all we need. Focus on the patience and forget about greed.
What's up, everyone? Good morning, Friday, July 11th. Welcome to today's day trading live stream. I am I'm at my home computer, so quick audio video check. Make sure you can see my screen, hear my voice okay. Give me a quick yes in the chat if you can hear me. Thank you, Shiz. Thank you, Dev D. E. Allison. All right, thank you. All right, so we had a little gap down overnight. S&P is, let me get to my other screen here. S&P is currently down 37, NASDAQ down 114, Russell down 20, Dow down 300. Gold is up 1%, silver's up 3%. Notes and bonds are red, 10-year yield up 1.17. Oil's up 1.3, about the same for natty gas. Soybeans, wheat, and corn all down about 0.5%. Euro is flat. The pound is down 0.5%. And Bitcoin still ripping through all-time highs over 118,000. Got up to a high of 119,450. So almost 120,000 a coin. Are you talking about on SPX specifically, Matrix? Or I'm just looking at my watch list and it shows all the symbols. Go to the, assuming you're on TOS, go to the 0DTE resources channel. And scroll up to the August 23rd, 2023 post. Wow, that's been a while. Aten Ra has shared a shared TOS link that'll put that gap on your chart. Then you can just view it on a 5-minute chart. Biggest movers. Well, crypto's obviously up. MSTR is the biggest green on my board. It's up a little over 2%. Netflix up almost 1. Nothing's up really big except for MSTR. On the red side, CoreWeave has been taking a beating. There's the bell. CoreWeave's down another 4%. I am going to, before I jump into the day trading, I'm going to enter a 6-7 put calendar. And then my 1 DTE or 3 DTE today should be firing as well. Oh, wow. 6.7s are cheap. Fired 44. Wasn't expecting that. I usually kind of double check that, but I just use Option Omega's dollar allocation, so that'll work. Let me get this posted. All right, I posted that in the calendar trade channel. My 1 DTE should be firing here shortly. Oh, it did fire. Must have fired at the same time. All right, 1 DTE posted as well. Nvidia is pushing up above yesterday's high. Amazon is also above yesterday's high.
Order filled.
Hood popped above yesterday's high, getting pushed back down. Circle is staying green. $62.85. Wow. I don't know. That's what the bot took. Didn't even check the strike. Huh. Yeah, that's wow. Yeah, they shouldn't have. I don't like that. Well, it says SPX opened at 62.80 as well. That's not right. I have it set at 50 delta. I wonder if I should reconfigure that to do a strike offset or something. Hmm. I'm gonna let it go for now. Obviously, hopefully, I'm hoping for a move higher to benefit that, but I'm gonna have to reconfigure that after we get off the stream. All right. So for day trades, Hood push back up above yesterday's high. Nvidia still pushing. Banks are a little weak. JP Morgan down 1%, Goldman and Bank of America both down almost 1%. Hood looks like it may be trying to go back up to all-time highs. hit an all-time high of 100.88. It's currently over 100. Goog tried to go green, getting pushed back down. Meta is acting really weak, down 1.5%. Nice, Watson. Are those today's expiration? MSTR had an all-time high back in November of 543. It's kind of breaking out of its consolidation, but it still has some room before all-time highs. That's interesting. I'm not having any toss issues that I'm aware of. Netflix is now below yesterday's low. S&P and NASDAQ ticked above pre-market highs, getting pushed back down. Everybody's having some toss issues, huh? Well, guess I'll see if I try to enter a day trade, if I get any fits. But my 1 DTE and my 6.7 fired fine from OO and Trade Steward. Well, my option Omega one. I'm not sure why it picked the strike it did, but entered anyway. Yeah, hood is holding above yesterday's high. MSTR, a quick dip and rip. MSTR was close to a volume bar. I didn't see any other volume bars. Looking at an option chain. Yeah, my option chain is not loading either. I'm looking at hood specifically. Nvidia holding up well, little dip getting bought up. But appears like if you're trading on toss, you may not be able to enter. Yeah, still no option chain.
Order filled.
So I was able to log in on my phone. It's acting like it would let me close the trade. Getting some downside. Indices coming down. All three below yesterday's low.
Order partially filled. Order filled. Order partially filled. Order filled.
Bitcoin trying to hold above its pre-market lows. Indices still above their pre-market lows, but heading down towards them. I don't remember the online version. Is it thinkorswim.com? Yeah, it looks like trade.thinkorswim.com. I'm not sure if it'll let you log in or not, but that's the web browser version. Banks are coming down even more. MSTR is now coming down. Hood couldn't hold above yesterday's high. Nvidia is not participating in the down move. Up almost 1% near highs of day. Tesla's now bouncing. Amazon still trying to hold above yesterday's high. Meta, a little bounce off the lows. By the way, for those in the 1DTE, at least the one that I did, it's only down 2.5%. So it's not like it's getting close to stop or anything like that. While we're waiting for TOS to fix itself, NVIDIA pushing through highs. Which is also a new all-time high. Moel says TOS is working now. Yeah, there's an option chain. I see an option chain. Okay. Big bounce in Tesla, big push in NVIDIA, big bounce in the indices. Good back up to highs. Getting some decent rallies here coming in. Banks are not really bouncing, but some of the big tech boys are bouncing,
Order partially
especially
filled.
chip stocks.
Order filled. Order cancelled. Order partially filled. Order filled.
So Tesla had a little volume spike on that push up. Kind of ticked above pre-market highs. I'm not interested in a Mighty 90 short there, though. Some of these chip stocks are ripping. AMD, ARM, NVIDIA. SMH is about to go green. Banks are still staying weak. S&P and NASDAQ back above yesterday's lows. Big bounce in Microsoft. Tesla going green. Goog trying to go green. Yeah, Meta had a little bounce, but right back down. Bitcoin was kind of choppy. Now it's popping back up. But MSTR and coin are not really popping. CoreWeave is kind of chopping right below pre-market lows. Thing hit a high of 187. It's down in the 132 range. CoreWeave. Yeah, hood holding above yesterday's high, or bouncing back up above it, I guess I should say. One DTE's back in the green.
Order partially filled.
6,
Order
7 foot
filled.
calendar back in the green. Lando just bought some hood calls. I like it. Nvidia finally taking a little pause. Tesla pushing through yesterday's highs. MSTR and coin now bouncing. Goog looks like it may want to break out. Microsoft through highs of day. Hood still climbing. S&P ticked above pre-market highs. Apple coming up towards pre-market highs. Nice Lando at a half. Did you get in right at yesterday's high, or did it already bounce some? Dip to pre-market low? Pre-market high, you mean? Got it. It's going. It's going for highs of day, going for all-time highs. Banks bounced a little bit, but still pretty weak. PLTR has been mostly up. It's up almost 1.5%. Netflix bouncing back in the green. Hood ticked through highs of day. S&P chopping right at pre-market highs. Goog chopping around unchanged. Nvidia pausing just below its highs, staying strong. You're still having toss issues, Chad? Yeah, I haven't placed a new trade, but seems to be working fine. Did you enter your 1 DTE with Trade Steward or manually?
It's probably just easier. Yeah, so this is what happened is I put it in and it was a working order, and then Toss started to have issues while it was a working order.
Mm.
So then I was like, well, if Toss is having issues, I want to cancel this order, and I couldn't cancel it. And then it took me about 10 minutes to figure out how to go into the Schwab website and close the order. So by the time I did that, it was about a $400 loss.
Oh, I see.
Otherwise, yeah.
S&P, NASDAQ still just kind of pausing here for the last 10 minutes. Along with some of these others as well. Well, if the S&P can make a 20, 30 plus point rally today, my 6-7 book calendar would be in really nice shape based on the strike that it took. I got to check with OO on that. Has anyone else had that issue where, let me bring it over just to, so like it opened the 62.85 strike. It says
Order
SPX
cancelled.
opened at 62.80.
Order filled.
And
Order
SPX
filled.
actually opened at 62.55. Bosch, what strike did yours take? And was that um, Trade Steward or Option Omega? Oh, okay. And do you have it set at 50 delta or do you have it structured some other way? See, that's what I think I need to do. I think I need to use the strike offset instead of delta. Deltas are just a little too wonky, especially at the open. Cool, thank you. Hood still near highs. Good trade, Lando. You can check the calendar channel, Sonia. 62.85 is what it took. Google coming down, could not stay green. Got tried 1, 2, 3, 4 different times. Tesla now coming down. Patience, Lando. Patience. Patient panda. At least with one of them. Oh, I see. Yeah, you're a day trading only member, so that calendars are for pro members. Apple still pushing above pre-market highs. Amazon is consolidating right above pre-market highs. I think I'm going to take an upside runner in Amazon. It's not necessarily showing a lot of strength versus the S&P. It's pretty similar, but using the pre-market high as my line in the sand in Amazon. 7 DTE options. I'm going to go with the 225 calls. 225 calls in Amazon. No fill yet. Kind of bounced up on me. I'll go ahead and get filled here. Filled at 301. I like Amazon on the daily chart. Looks like it's wanting to kind of bust out of that consolidation area. It's at 224. All-time highs are at 242, so it's got a ways to all-time highs, but let's see if it can hold the pre-market highs here. It's kind of been acting like one of the stronger stocks this morning, staying above yesterday's high. Tony, it's not necessarily number of contracts that I focus on because that's going to differ based on the day of the week. Because a 7 DTE option moves much differently than a 1 DTE. So it's all about the amount of risk that I'm willing to take. So for example, the max loss I want to take on this trade would be $1,000. And so I position size based on that. So, part of this just comes from trading for a while and seeing how, understanding how 7-day options move versus 1-day options. But kind of let's see if I can find it. I posted it in the day trading chat a few days ago. See if I can. So here's kind of a basis that you can use. So if I'm risking $1,000, depending on the days to expiration that I'm trading, that would be a good baseline as far as buying power to use. And then of course if and so if you use those buying powers for a max risk of $1,000, that's going to give you some pretty decent wiggle room. Like this thing would have to really flush against me for me to take $1,000 loss with that buying power. So if my max risk is 1,000, a lot of times I would take a loss at like $500. So that's how I think about it. I think about what's my max. I kind of every day I'll decide what my max risk is on a trade. And it's usually around 1,000. Sometimes if I think if it's a more trending, potentially opportunistic day,
Order filled.
I'll risk
Order
more on a
cancelled.
trade, but that's kind of my baseline. Have I done deep research on stop loss ratio for DC management? I'm not sure exactly what you mean, so I assume the answer would be no. Oh, short long? No, I have not. Mm-mm. Microsoft pushing through highs, going green. Nvidia bouncing back up towards highs. There goes Hood, Lando. Hold, hold. Get your finger off the trigger, Lando. Walk away. Goog pushed through lows, bouncing back up. First profit target, I'm going to put at 335. We can pop up above 225. That should hit in Amazon. I would say, I'll just tell you what I would do, Lane. I would leave it because you're trading, I assume you're not trading 0 DTE, you're trading 7 DTE. So the decay is going to be pretty minimal. If you've already kind of locked in, good one, with the crypto tailwind and pushing to all-time highs, it could be one of those runner days, but that's just me. I did 20 lots of Amazon. So my first profit target, I'm taking off 12. I like to take off more than half. Tesla coming for highs of day. Yep. Yeah, so where I was the other thing where I was going with that chart that I posted. So that buying power is an estimate. So the other thing to consider is I got in really pretty close to that pre-market high, which means, if it goes much below that, so let me just mark that. So if it goes much below that, I'm going to get out. And so if you have a level that you get in very close to and you use that as your line in the sand, then you can also go in with a little bit more buying power because my max risk is still $1,000. Does that make sense, Ken? So that's why I say use that chart as kind of a baseline. And of course, if you're risking $100, use a tenth of that. If you're using 500 max risk, half of that, half of those numbers, and then you'll get a feel for the amount of risk based on where your line in the sand is and all that good stuff. Hood's dipping, Lando. I told you should have sold it. All right, so S&P is still pushing. I don't like how Amazon is not pushing here with the S&P and the NASDAQ pushing. Nice pop out of Microsoft, little pop out of Apple. Nvidia popped back through highs of day. Google popping back up. Come on, Amazon, get on board. Even Meta's coming up. Apple's still a little bit red, but only down about 0.2% now. Amazon creeping up to highs of day. Little pop through highs of day. Now we need a continuation. One DTE currently up 9%. The other thing to consider with the different DTEs, for those of you who are a little bit newer to this, it's going to take longer for a 7-day option to get to 10% profit than it is for a 1 DTE, right? So, one thing I do is I like to set my profit targets not necessarily by, just a straight 10% profit. I like to kind of choose a level on the chart for price to get to hit my profit target. Now, I don't have really anything good to use for Amazon. There's no levels or anything um, to the upside, but I still just like to get kind of an idea of, okay, if it pushes up to there, that would be a first profit target. So my point is on 7-day options, like if you're using a 10% profit target, 7-day options take a lot bigger move to get that 10% versus like a 1 DTE option. So a lot of times you'll see me like with a 1 DTE option. So if I was trading yesterday, I'd be trading 1 DTEs. I'd be going for a lot more than 10% for my first profit target on a 1 DTE because it doesn't take as much of a move in the stock to hit that profit target. Nvidia pushing, Amazon chopping. Considered an upside runner in Nvidia when it started to pull back. Had really the best relative strength of anything on this board, but decided to go with Amazon. Tesla pushing. S&P and NASDAQ staying strong. Chips are moving. SMH is pushing. Mostly, I'm sure, fueled by Nvidia here. AMD's pushing pretty good too. Amazon trying to creep back up now. We got earnings season starting next week. Big banks start on the 15th and 16th. Pre-market earnings announcements. Bezos is just trying to pay the property tax on his yacht, I believe. Got to sell some shares to pay the property tax on that puppy. Okay, Nvidia was the better horse for sure. Let's see if Amazon wants to pop here. All right, I am going to wrap the stream here. You know what I'm doing here. I've got the pre-market high as my line in the sand. If it dips much below that, I'll cut it. Got my first profit target set at, what did I say, 335. So its price has to push up above 225 on the stock price for that to hit. Otherwise, I will. Chad will be doing Power Hour today. I have a baseball game for my son to attend. Thank goodness there's only a couple weeks of that left. I'm enjoying it, but it's kind of these day games are a little bit of a struggle. Anyway, everybody have a good rest of your day. We'll talk to you soon. Cheers.